son said, he came to me, he sat down, he said, Mom, we have to get him. Circumstances had occurred where, they were young.
Right.
And the mom was young. Her mindset was, she was not there, ready to be a mother.
Right.
So I had to go to God and say, okay, God, if this is what I need to do, I need you to help me.
Yeah.
I need to be healed. I need to be prepared to do this. That was the next phase of my life, to be raising a baby.
Again.
All over again.
Yeah, all over again. Starting all over.
But, we handled that, and that was very challenging, because that other side, that's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
And when you have families that are not coming together, and their views are different from yours, and their values are, you do a lot of tongue biting.
Right.
That's what I had to do, and I'm still raising Tahir till the day he's 8 now.
Oh, he's 8. Okay.
He's 8 years old now.
So he's in school now?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
When I say that is his dad all over again. To the cartoons that he likes, he's watching everything that Beans used to watch when Beans was little.
Mm-hmm.
The cartoons, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Beans loved all of that. Down to I don't even know how Tahir found out about Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was big on that. Wow.
So it was as if before you knew, God knew, and that he would give you not so much a replacement, but a gift instead. You know what I mean? I'm give you something else. And while you may not want it right now, but later on you're going to. And you're going to embrace it. And so, that reminds me of, I always think about the movie Forrest Gump. For every bad thing that happened to Forrest, something good happened. He lost Jenny, and he had that baby. And so for everything that we lose, God also, replaces it. And so that was, you can't never replace Beans, but that was your gift.
That's my gift. I found a picture of Beans. When you move, you find stuff that you thought you didn't have anymore. And I found a picture of my son. And when you look at it, you say, well, that's Tahir. But it's Beans. I know it's Beans because I remember what I dressed him, and it looks exactly like Tahir. And Tahir I took him to this store. Me and Beans used to live around the corner from the store, and they sell like comic books and Pokemon cards. And when I went to the store, I started getting flashbacks and thinking about how Beans, when I would get paid, I would give Beans as a little allowance, and he would, Mom, can I go? And I would walk him around me, and I started to cry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I started to cry, and I didn't want Tahir to see me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had on my sunglasses, and Tahir looked up and he said, "What's the matter with you, Mom?" Because he could see.
Mm-hmm.
My countenance had changed, and I said nothing. I'm just thinking about Daddy. I told him the truth, and I could just hear him, the excitement in his voice that he was going to get Pokemon cards. And Beans collected so many of them, sis, that I have a big loose leaf book where he saved them. Mm-hmm. These cards are probably worth some money now. Mm-hmm. And Tahir said, "I'm going around here, and we're gonna trade them in, and we're gonna get some money, Mom." But we went around there in the store. The owner is so old now that it was two young guys out there said, "Oh, he's so old now that it takes him forever to get here." We waited over an hour. It was cold, and I said, "Tahir, I'm going across the street to Ricci's and go get me a hoagie." Mm-hmm. I couldn't wait to eat that hoagie. I said, "We're leaving. It's cold out here."
Right.
And he was upset, but I said, "I can't believe he actually likes everything." Wow. Like his dad, the way that he keeps his sneakers in his room, the cologne that he likes to wear.
Cologne at 8?
Wow. Even the little girls that he says that he likes, hair.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Spitting image. Wow. Amen.
He is his father's child.
So it's almost as if you don't have to miss him as much.
Exactly.
Right? Because you have a part of him with you. So I want to transition a little bit. If you could share with us how exactly you lost your son.
The day that I lost Beans, he stayed out all night that day, the night before. And he called and said, Mom, I'm at he knew how to get me. I'm at the breakfast store. You want me to bring you something? And I wanted to fuss because he knew Saturdays was, laundry day or whatever. And he knew that we was going to see my uncle who was in a nursing home. And I said, well, yeah, after I fussed. But he was so meek and mild and calm this particular day. Nothing moved him. He didn't argue back with me, Yolanda. Everything I asked him to do, he did. So we went and did what we usually do and went to see my uncle. And my uncle, who is Muslim, he said to him, Beans, what you got on your face? Looking all glowy and shining over there. But he did, Yolanda. He looked like he had a glow and a peace about him this particular day. Everybody that we saw said that to him. Mm-hmm. And he kept saying, oh, y'all like my swag. So I said, well, Beans, take me downtown. I'm gonna go look for some shoes, which I didn't need. He said, well, Mama, you get some shoes. I want some sweatpants. So he went in the store to get the sweatpants. I went in the shoe store, and he waited for me. And I came out the shoe store mad, and he did like this. He was looking around like to say, you was in that store all the time, and he looking for a bag, but I didn't have no bag. Mom, you was in the store. And I said, shut up. I didn't see nothing. Take me down South Street. So we go down South Street. And I found some shoes down there. And I said, what's wrong with you? I get in the car. I said, what's wrong with you? He was like, I don't feel good. Asthma was starting to act up. So he drove me home, and I said, well, where you going? He said, I'll be back in early because I don't feel good. And I said, well, Beans, if you don't feel good, stay home. Right. So he before he pulled off, he said, Mom, I'll be in early. I don't feel good. And I said, well, son, if you don't feel good, I'll be just like this. If you don't feel good. And he said, I'll be in early. But before he pulled off, Yolanda, he looked back at me and Imani. And our eyes met, like you and I are looking. Uh-huh. And I said, well, Beans, if you sick. And he didn't say anything. He just looked at us. I will never forget the way that he looked at us. And that's the last time I see my son alive. I was in the kitchen curling my hair for a worship service the next day. The bell was ringing. And Beans used to, I hated the way he rang the bell. Mm-hmm. And I come to the door, Beans, why you ring the bell like that? Where's your key? But it wasn't him. It was one of his friends. And I'm looking like, well, where Beans at? I just left him. Right. An hour hadn't even, I don't even think an hour had went past Yolanda. It was still very early. Mm-hmm. And he said, Mom, Beans just got shot. And I'm like, how? I just left him. What do you mean? Right. Come on, Mom, put your clothes on. Slip your stuff back on.